Good morning, dear students, and welcome back to this online class of chemistry. So, in the last video, we discussed symbol and valency. So, now we discuss about radicals. So, what are radicals? Radicals is an atom or a group of atoms of the same or different elements that behaves as a single unit with a positive and negative charge. So, what you know about radical? Radical is an atom or a group of atoms of the same or of different elements that behaves as a single unit with a positive and negative charge. So, a radical is called a simple radical when it is an atom only like a Na plus, Mg2 plus, aluminum 3 plus, that means Al3 plus, etc. That means what? It contains only a single atom. But it is called a compound radical when it is made up of a group of two or more different atoms. For example, SO4 2 minus, NH4 1 plus or OH 1 minus. That means what? They are consisting of two different atoms. They are known as what? Compound radical. So, radicals are of two types. One is positive radical and next one is negative radical. Positive radicals means they are having positive charge. For example, see hydrogen H plus, ammonium NH4, sodium Na plus, then lithium Li plus, and calcium Ca2 plus, magnesium Mg2 plus, barium Ba2 plus. They are the examples of what? Positive radicals. That means they are having positive charge. Here are some examples of positive radical. Now, negative radical. Negative radical means they are having negative charge. Okay. That means for examples of negative radicals are chloride, chlorate, bromide, iodide. These are the examples of negative radicals. You can get some examples of negative radicals from the table here. Let's see. These are the examples of negative radicals. So now chemical formula. So what do you mean by chemical formula? Chemical formula means the symbolic representation of an element or a compound. So what do you say? A molecule of a substance, that is either element or compound, could be represented by a symbols are called chemical formula. Okay? A molecule of a substance, that is either element or a compound, could be represented by symbols are called chemical formula. For example, see here sodium chloride, hydrogen chloride. What? Sodium chloride. It consisting of sodium and chlorine. That means they will written in that the symbol. Formula of sodium is Na and chlorine is Cl. So the formula of sodium chloride is NaCl. So the formula of sodium chloride is NaCl. Like this, the formula of sodium Na, potassium K. Here you can see HCl. What is the formula? HCl. The name is hydrogen chloride. It consisting of what? Hydrogen and chlorine. So the formula of hydrogen is H and chlorine is Cl. So it combine and form that HCl. So the formula of hydrogen chloride is HCl. Now monovalent elements. That means what do you mean by monovalent? Monovalent means an element is referred to as a monovalent when it exists as a single atom and represented by a single symbol of that element, that is called monovalent elements. For example, you can say that sodium Na plus, potassium K plus, lithium Li 1 plus, hydrogen 1 plus, ammonium NH4 1 plus. These are what? Monovalent. That means it consisting only one atom. They are known as what? Monovalent elements. You can see from the table here are given some examples of monovalent elements. The next is C, divalent, or you can say that molecule. As we know that molecule means what? It consisting of more than one atoms. For example, what? That is H2, hydrogen, oxygen, O2, nitrogen, N2. So that means when an atom exists as a molecule, a number that representing its atomicity, and it is written as a subscript after the symbol of the element. Hydrogen, what you write? H2. That means 2 is right in the subscript and it consisting of 2 atoms. Nitrogen, N2. That means it consisting of 2 nitrogen atom. oxygen O2. That means it consisting of two oxygen atoms. In the subscript, after that symbol, you write that atomicity. That means the 2 you will write in that subscript of that symbols. And these are known as what? Divalent elements. You can see from the table there are some examples of divalent elements. The next one, see, trivalent. What do you mean by trivalent? Trivalent means it also consisting of consisting of 3 atoms. That means, for example, phosphate PO4 3 minus, nitride N 3 minus, phosphide PO3 that is 3 minus. That means it consisting of 3 atoms. Like this tetravalent elements, that is the example of carbide C4. Okay, so these are the examples of monovalent, divalent, trivalent or tetravalent elements. Now we discuss about compound. So what is compound? Compound means when 2 or more elements combine together in a fixed proportion, that is called what? Compound. For example, water or sodium chloride, ammonia. These are the examples of compounds. That means a compound contains whole number of atoms of the component elements in a fixed proportion, which representing its molecular formula. For example, say here calcium carbonate. What you say that? Here you can say that one molecule of calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3. That means it contains 1 atoms of calcium and carbon and 3 atoms of oxygen, and it forms what? Calcium carbonate. Like this you can say another example, water H2O. Here what you say? You can say that 2 atoms of hydrogen combines with 1 atom of oxygen and forms that water molecule. And one more thing you remember here, that a molecular formula also indicates the number of units of the radicals present in a compound with the proper subscript outside and the unit of the radical. For example, see here calcium hydroxide. What you find? Here it consisting of 1 atoms of calcium. And it is written, see, the formula of calcium hydroxide is CaOH whole twice. That means it consisting of 1 atoms of calcium and 2 hydroxide radicals. Hydroxide means what? Oxygen and hydrogen. So this subscript, the 2 hydroxide radicals, this 2 you have to write in that outside of the hydroxide group. That means the 2 is the subscript of that hydroxide. Now the characteristics of a compound. The first one is definite proportion. That means a compound has a definite proportion. For example, see here water. Water means it consisting of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. That means 2 atoms of hydrogen when combined with 1 atom of oxygen in a fixed proportion, they form that water molecule. Like this also see the another example, ammonia. Here 1 atom of nitrogen combined with 3 atoms of hydrogen and form that what? Ammonia molecules. That means they have a definite proportion. When that 1 atom of nitrogen combined with 3 atoms of hydrogen, then only it forms that ammonia molecules. So the first point is it has a definite proportion. The second point is compounds are always homogeneous in nature. Homogeneous means, as we know that constituent elements are uniformly distributed throughout its volume. For example, see here water. Water means what? That hydrogen and oxygen, they are uniformly distributed. In the water molecule, you cannot separate or you cannot find that hydrogen and oxygen in the water. So what you find, for example, ammonia. Ammonia means what? The nitrogen and hydrogen. This in that ammonia molecule, the nitrogen and hydrogen atoms are uniformly distributed. Or sodium chloride, that sodium and chlorine are uniformly distributed. So what you find? The compounds are always homogeneous in nature. And the third property is particles in a compound are of one kind. Okay, that means a compound has, for example, see iron sulfide. What is the formula? FeS. That means the composition cannot be varied and they have a uniform compositions. And the components cannot be seen separately. For example, iron sulfide, when iron react with the sulfur, it forms that iron sulfide. Can you see that iron and sulfur separately in the iron sulfide? No. That means iron when react with sulfur, it form that iron sulfide, and in iron sulfide we cannot be seen that iron and sulfur separately. A compound has a definite set of properties. The next property is what? They have a definite set of properties. For example, water. Water has the properties that it will be extinguish the fire. So a compound has a definite set of properties. And the next properties is components in a compound do not retain their original properties, and they can be separated only by the chemical means. That means they do not retain their original properties. For example, see water. Water, what happened? The properties of water are entirely different from those of its constituent elements. In water, what are the constituent elements? Hydrogen and oxygen. So hydrogen and oxygen are the gases, but water is liquid at the normal temperature or the normal conditions. And whereas hydrogen burns itself, oxygen supports burning, but water will be helps to putting off the fire. So what you find? The constituent elements in a compound, the properties of the constituent element is completely different. Let's say another example, that is iron sulfide. What is the formula of iron sulfide? That is FeS. So what you find? Already you know that they do not retain their original properties. That means you know iron. Iron is attracted towards the magnet, but in iron sulfide, this iron sulfide is not attracted towards that magnet, and iron sulfide in iron sulfide, the magnet and iron in iron sulfide, it does not gives hydrogen gas when it react with the dilute acid. So sulfur present in iron, that is sulfide, is also insoluble in carbon disulfide. So what you find that the constituent elements of iron sulfide, the properties of constituent element in iron sulfide is completely different from that of a compound. So what are the properties of a compound? That means it has a definite proportion, they are homogeneous in nature, they are of one kind, and they have a definite set of properties, and the components in a compound do not retain their original properties and can be separated only by the chemical means. Thank you.